Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors go out to the apostles, elders, great millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom, Bob Barakiam to you brothers and sisters out there. Alright, this is the brother Malachi from the Great Millstone National Camp. And Lord, willing that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Alright, I got this pulled up, because when I woke up this morning, I checked YouTube and brother had posted it. So I decided to, go ahead and do a lesson on this real quick. Basically going into the New World Order. Okay, like, they all these different high-level guys, it's not the highest level, of course, it's just a CEO, but still high in the rank. They all tend to say something, to essentially give off, the future plans, the nefarious plans, actually, of the elite banker families, which is why I said New World Order, all right, NWO. Because you had Klaus Schwab, he said you will own nothing and be happy. All right, people be throwing shots, saying there's too many people, saying there ain't enough resources, ain't enough water, the planet can't sustain itself. Technology needs to advance. We're trying to go to different planets, which they can't go to different planets. Okay, they never even went to the moon. And people that actually believe that, that's on you, bro. I'm just being honest. If you really think that they went to the moon in 1969 in a fucking SpaghettiOs can, then that, hey, power to you, bro. Okay, but anyways, so it says Nokia CEO says 6G will be here by 2030. Okay, and then it also says he said 6G smartphones to be embedded in human bodies. Okay, and which this is a few years ago, but we're getting closer and closer to 2030, and we can see the world is shifting. All right, especially with this whole Strait of Hormuz thing, we're still waiting for, because the price of gas ain't shit compared to, what it could be in the near future. Okay, so we just have to see, how everything comes together, but it's looking like they are going to go with the Strait of Hormuz situation. Okay, because this is major chain disruptions that we're seeing here. This ain't no light thing. All right, this major supply chain disruptions, and it's only a matter of time. Yahweh Ratazah, that this is it, that this, starts to kick things off more and more, because now they're talking about there could be a multi-year famine. The prophecy's got to come to pass somehow, man. We're not just going to sit here working and slaving away and subject to demons and all that for the rest of eternity. They're like let me get this real quick as well. The Most High told us that He would move. He would get us out of here. All right, now that doesn't mean it's going to happen this year. That doesn't mean it's going to happen next year, but we're hopeful. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 29:11. I'm going to go and get this first. It says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." Right, so that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the expected end, which is the Lord, essentially bringing judgment upon Babylon and upon our enemies. Not through our hands. All right, we're not going to carnally be doing anything. You can see what we're doing now. We just pray, fast. We teach the Bible, man. We don't do no carnal shit. Okay. Oh yeah, just getting a drink. We don't do no carnal shit. We're not carnal men, we're spiritual men. Like King David said, wait, I say, on the Lord. That's all we can do. Just continue to go through the trials and tribulations, walk down the straight gate, take everything one day at a time, and just wait on the Lord to rectify us. But we can see that we're getting very close. Now, this doesn't mean that we have until 2030. So, it doesn't mean we have until 2030. they're trying to have all this stuff already established and going by 2030. And if they're really trying to bring the, what would they say, 500 million? If they're really trying to exercise their New World Order, then there's going to need to be a lot done between now and 2030. Alright, and they're really going to have to, like one brother said, Esau really can't keep kicking the can down the road no more. He's got to start busting some moves. We understand he will bust moves, right? Revelations 12:12, he's going to come down with great wrath because he knows that he hath but a short time. So it's, once again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We're just simply waiting. Right, but like it says, let me get this as well. Why aren't these other camps talking about these things? Why aren't they going into prophecy? Why are these other camps just talking about the same old, base level things? And I don't mean that in no disrespectful manner. I'm saying, why don't these other camps go into prophecy? Because they're not the prophets. Okay, we commend them for teaching Israel and teaching certain things about the scriptures, but there's a lot of things that these guys go off with, man. And they're pushing the wrong thing. They're trying to make it seem like it's just a black thing. No, this ain't about black people, man. This is about the Israelites, right? Because the real so-called black man and woman is Esau, all right? When you go into the meaning of the word black, all right? But Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." So these prophecies are not going to continue to tarry and linger on. We're about to see Babylon the Great and society as a whole start to get shaken up bad, like real bad, bro. It's only a matter of time, and Yehowaratazah sooner than we think, because that's what the scripture says as well. We get that. Yehowaratazah, this was the last Passover. If we make to the Day of Atonement, Yehowaratazah, this is the last one. On this side. Of course, I'm not saying it forever. I'm saying on this side. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe." So, it's no coincidence that this is resurfacing again, even though, once again, it was posted a few years ago, but it's coming back. Because this is the reality that's about to set in. These people want to put microchips in your body. Okay, we're talking about RFID or NFC implant, brain chip. All right, these are the things that we're talking about. These are the things that we're getting ready to see. And before you know it, it's going to be mandated, mandatory. You're not going to have an option. You will have an option, but the alternative option would be death. All right, via guillotine, which, bro, we're willing to take that L, because it's really not an L. It's really not an L. When you think you're going to be greatly rewarded for that, you maintained your integrity. Okay, and honestly, the Wadi Yahalbai Shemal Shai, which of course is easier said than done, but getting beheaded from a guillotine is a lot better than a lot of other things out there. I'd rather get beheaded by a guillotine than get crucified. All right, I'd rather get beheaded than get eaten alive by wild beasts. Sawn in half. There's a lot of things that's far worse than a guillotine. So that in itself is the mercy of the Lord. And like brothers be saying too, you might not even feel it. Lord could take the spirit from your body. Even if you do feel it, what are you going to do? React to it? You're going to be dead. It's not like you're going to get up and say, "Damn, my neck hurt." It's going to be a wrap. But, and remember too, a lot of us are not going to have to taste death. Okay? There's a lot of us that will never die again. Now these bodies will, obviously be destroyed, right? But we're going to be, Yehowaratazah, we're of the elect. We're going to be beamed up and given those new bodies. And for the brothers and sisters that give their lives, that's how it was written out for them by the Lord. Well, like Scripture said, the dead shall rise first. They're going to be on the chariots, waiting for us. Or I'll be waiting for you, or whoever is in that lie. Right? But regardless, everybody has to be willing to give their lives, right? Like Yahushua said, you need to deny yourself. Any man that seeks to save his life shall lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, ye shall find it. Losing your life isn't just literally giving up your life, right? In the sense of dying. We're giving up our lives now. We gave up dreams, aspirations, carnality. You know, we're trying to abstain from fleshly desires. You know, so it's a beautiful thing that we're a part of, and we're getting ready to see Revelations 13, 16. We're getting ready to see these famines. You know, famine of the word, famine of bread. You know, famine of water. Well, that wouldn't be a famine, but a drought. You know, drought rather. More storms. You know, get ready for that. It's beautiful times that we're in, man. So, Lord, when we continue to stay in the Spirit and stay locked in on what actually matters, because it's very easy to get entangled, you know, with the affairs of this life. Okay, but we just need to remain on the right path and continue to endure. All right. So, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, before I close, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim El Shai, Bashim Rakah, Kadash. Give honors go out to the apostles, Elders, Great Millstone.